good afternoon. Today some more stories from our subscribers.
In the past, I often had the state of being in a dream, but it was also like I was in reality. I understood everything and was aware of everything. But for the same reason, sometimes I couldn't understand if it was a dream or reality. So, I was lying in bed. It was early dawn or dusk outside. The room is dark, but there is enough light behind the thick curtains. I look out, and in the background of the curtains I can see that someone is sitting on the windowsill, as if squatting. The shade is very good to see. I have no animals. That's why it creeped me out. I could not understand how it got there. I get up from bed, go to the window, pull aside the curtain, and see that on the windowsill there is a monkey. Only its face is not animal, but human. It looks like a man's face. But everything is a caricature. And that scares me beyond belief. "Who are you?" I asked, and it growled and jumped on me. I managed to draw the curtain, but it attacked through the curtain. We got tangled up in the curtain. I started screaming, and suddenly I was back in bed. I knew right away I was having a nightmare. Except it was too sunny in the room. I looked at the window, and there was no curtain. It was lying on the floor with the curtain. And then I looked, and it was like the curtain had been ripped out of the wall with force. I still don't know what it was. I live alone. There was no one else in the apartment but me. When I was in the hospital in a serious condition after an operation, it seemed to me as if I was walking along the bank of an unusually beautiful river. It was beautiful and peaceful all around, and strangely enough, I realized that I was in two parts. On the one hand, I see myself lying in my room with my eyes closed, but I also see myself on the shore of the river. And my consciousness does not understand where the picture is true and where it is fiction. But, of course, I would like to think that I am actually on the river, where the birds are singing, the water is flowing slowly and the sunset is very beautiful. Suddenly I hear the oars bang on the water. I turned my head, and there was a boat coming ashore. My dead uncle was sitting on the oars. He looks at me so kindly and says, "I'll take you with me." That's where I got scared for some reason. I started to deny him, explaining that I couldn't go with him. That I had a family, my children had not yet grown up. I told him a lot of things. He smiled at me, he waved goodbye and the boat pulled away from the shore. I woke up immediately and realized I was in hospital. I often wonder what would have happened if I had gotten on that boat. I used to work as a nurse for a grandmother at one time. She was in bad shape. Lying down, she hardly spoke. One day she had a crisis, and I had to stay overnight in her apartment. I dozed off in an armchair and woke up to her clock striking midnight. A big clock, and then I opened my eyes and saw a black shadow, which outlines were like hers, had separated from my grandmother and ran into the wall. I thought I imagined it. I fell asleep again. Then I never remembered it again. Soon after my grandmother died, I found out that all the time there was a poltergeist raging next door. Things were flying. Things were burning by themselves. There were incomprehensible knocks and voices. It happened at night. My whole family was painfully pinched by someone. Everyone had huge, purple bruises afterward. And the appliances burned out from some unknown cause. It was horrible. It all stopped only when my grandmother died next door. I think she was a witch and she cast a spell on them every night. Maybe the neighbors had done something to spite her, or maybe she was just a mean old lady.
Thank you for watching and supporting me. Subscribe to the channel, there will be many more interesting things.